Aha! Controversy! Hey everyone, That Bald Gamer here, and yes, as you can see, today we are going to be ranking my favorite base form starter Pokemon from Gens 1 through 9, and yes, we do have Gen 9 there, as you can see, separated by the white blocks. But before we begin and get into all that, just a disclaimer here, it's my list. So it's not personal if your favorites aren't up there or one of my least favorites. It's just an opinion, so don't be a little baby. I could put in Digimon if I wanted to, and at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it because it's my list. So take it with a grain of salt and let's just have some fun. And also, whether you agree with my picks or not, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and also comment down below what your picks are, because I'd love to see if we see eye to eye, and also if you want to see more of these tier list videos down the road. But without further ado, let's dig in. Okay, man, do I really want to go down this rabbit hole? Yes, I do. So here we go. So as you can see, I've separated these into 5 categories. My favorites, I like these, they're all right, not really a fan, and least favorites. So let's just go ahead right off the bat, and I'll throw in my number 1 favorite. Is nothing, it's set in stone, it's my favorite, and that's gonna be Squirtle. He does have the benefit of the doubt of nostalgia and sentimental value, being my very first starter all the way back when I was a kid in Pokemon Blue, before probably half of you watching right now were even born. But you know, tried and true was there for me in that initial playthrough. I love a water type, and he just kind of encompasses all that is a water type starter. But also the personality is great. I love the Squirtle squad in the anime. The shiny's okay with the green shell. And I enjoy Squirtle, so he's earned that number 1 spot just for me. And yeah, there you go. So might be a surprise to some of you, because I know when people ask me on streams, what's your favorite starter, I say Primarina, but take into account that's a final evolution, and that's going to be a different list down the road. Also, spoiler alert, by the way. But so yeah, no, Squirtle's got the base form spot covered there. So number 2 is going to be another surprise. It's going to be Rowlet. Again, putting, you know, Popplio in its place, because even though I love Primarina as a starter, in terms of base forms in Gen 7, I think Rowlet's got it covered. He's got that adorable, cute, round shape. What's not to love about owls? You know, great color scheme. The shiny is amazing with the mint color. And I just love the personality in the anime, how he's always falling asleep. So he's just very cute, fluffy, lovable. I'm going to have to go with Rowlet on that one for the base form. Now, let's throw in one more top one, and then I'll start mixing in some more controversial picks. But Totodile is going to be number 3 for me. And I could almost make a case of him being a little bit higher. You know, Gen 2 is my favorite Pokemon gen. I love everything about, you know, Silver, Gold, Crystal, and of course the remakes, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And, you know, ultimately you could end up, if you really wanted to, you can solo through the game with just Totodile, because his moveset is that strong. And he loses some minor points for just not being obviously as cute as Rowlet, or, you know, as sentimental as Squirtle, but he's definitely always been up there for me. And he has a good shiny as well too, and just a nice fun personality for Totodile there. So I'm gonna throw him at number 3. And of course, I mean, there is the obvious little slight water bias for me, but I'm gonna try to see if I can balance out that water bias throughout the video. So now that we've gotten some of my favorites out of the way, let's go ahead and throw in some controversy. I'm just gonna get it right off the bat. Sorry to anybody who likes it. Grookey is my least favorite. You know, I appreciate the musical aspects, you know, the drumsticks and everything that Rillaboom has to offer, but I can't take Rillaboom into account. That's a separate list. And at the end of the day, if I had to choose between this monkey and that monkey, I'm gonna go with Chimchar. So yeah, I'm just not on the Grookey train. So if that's your favorite, whoops. And on that note too, one that might surprise you all is I'm gonna put Popplio in the They're All Right. Now again, Primarina is my favorite final evolution for a starter. Spoiler alert for that list. And that being said though, Popplio just doesn't do it for me. He's middle of the road. He's not good. He's not bad. He's got the whole clown seal vibe going on. I don't know. He's got the benefit of the doubt of being a water type, which again is my favorite when it comes to these starters and in general. So that's a plus, but otherwise just kind of meh. And again, Another big disclaimer here for controversy, but Charmander is going to go only there, all right, as well, too. Ooh, I can hear the Charizard fans screaming, but again, keep in mind, this is Charmander, not Charizard. And at the end of the day, with the flame tail going on there, if you know the lore, if that flame sputters out, it's dead. That's it. So that's a lot of responsibility, and I don't know if I can handle that pressure. Also, you know, just again, if I had to choose between Squirtle and Charmander, I'm gonna go with Squirtle. The beginning of the game is very rough if you go the fire route in Gen 1. But not a bad Pokemon. It's all right. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's also just not one of my favorites. By the way, in case you haven't noticed, I've been cutting up my edits in groups of 3. It takes a lot out of me to make these choices, so I figure that's a good way to go about it. But speaking of the next choice, let's throw in a surprise pick. Sprigatito from Gen 9. Now, at the time of this recording, we know very little about Gen 9. Scarlet and Violet are not out yet, but in terms of face value, I like the look of Sprigatito. I'm a cat fan, for one, and I like it when the underdog, which I consider to be grass type, gets a solid pick. And I think that really is a solid choice for a grass type starter. And I'm going to throw it up there. I think it looks great. So let's hope that the train of thought there continues with the evolutions down the road when the games come out. Now, again, another shocker for maybe some of you is going to be Mudkip. I'm going to put them in I like these. Now, I know many of you out there consider that to be a favorite, and rightfully so. Solid Pokemon, great shiny, arguably one of the better, if not the best shiny of these starters with the fuchsia color. You can make a case for that. But, you know, in my initial playthrough of Sapphire back in the day when I was a teen, I did choose Mudkip first. Obvious water bias there, but I like Mudkip. I think he's a cool Pokemon and really deserving of the I like these because, you know, he's certainly not the worst in my book, and I just really enjoy him as a Pokemon. Another one I'm going to put up there in the I like these is Scorbunny. He gets a lot of points. I would put him in the they're all right section, but he gets a lot of points from his role in the Pokemon Journeys anime. I really like the personality of the Pokemon, the spunkiness, the peppiness, if you will, its willingness to just get out there and go. I think that's kind of a cool trait for a Pokemon to have. And honestly, I think it's probably the best base form Pokemon of the Gen 8 Pokemon. Not that it's my favorite overall from Gen 8, but I do like that as a Pokemon starter from Gen 8. All right, so we're making some progress here. Let's go ahead and throw some more love to another grass type, and that's going to be Treecko. I love Treecko. Not enough to be a favorite, but I just think the entire line is great. Now, granted, for this list, I can only take into account the base form, but really just even Grovyle, the mid-ev, is just top tier for me. And I can't really say that about an entire line of a starter Pokemon. So, you know, it all starts with Treecko, and just everything about him is nice. It's pleasant to look at, nice green color. Shiny's pretty cool as well, too. I like Treecko. It's a solid grass-type Pokemon, so that's all I have to say about it, really. Just very solid. Now, let's get some controversy going into this list again. And I'm just going to say it. Fuecoco stands, I'm not really a fan. Now, granted, I can see there's a lot of potential for a future EV design to be really cool, probably even very elaborate and a really neat typing, but the base form just doesn't do it for me. And sorry to all the Fuecoco stands out there, but just not really digging the Fuecoco vibes. What I am digging, though, is the Piplup vibes. Piplup is one of my favorites. It's fun to say. Piplup. 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 I mean, it's a penguin. It's very cute. Very sassy nature in the anime. I love his personality. And what's not to like about penguins, right? Probably my go-to for Gen 4 is always going to be Piplup. Moving right along, we have a Litten, which is going to be under the I like these. Might be surprising for some of you. There's two reasons. One, the shiny, top tier. You can rank it with the Mudkip, the Rowlet, even the Fennekin. Great shinies. But yeah, and then also the anime. I really, probably one of the more memorable episodes from the anime is when the Litten was taking care of the aging Stoutland. And I don't know why, but that just kind of really stood out to me and really added to the personality trait of Litten. Plus, I like cats, again, with the Sprigatito right above it. That said, I'm not going to go out of my way to usually pick Litten amongst the other starters, despite Poplio being below it, but that's because of Primarina. but still a very solid choice in the grand scheme of things. Next up, we're gonna have a Bulbasaur right next to it. And what can I say? It's the original tried and true Gen 1 grass type starter. It's got the Bulbasaur Lullaby and just a really pleasant green Pokemon. It's nice to look at. It's got the bulb on the back. I can't really say the same about the Venusaur, but Ivysaur is great, but I can't really take those into account. But in the grand scheme of things, the base form, I like Bulbasaur. It's a pretty solid design in the overall scheme of things. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Cyndaquil right next to him. I like Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil is a really cute Pokemon. Always kind of got the whole sleep vibes going on. Just kind of chill, laid back, very mellow. But when it gets mad and feisty, oh boy, you better watch out. But a very nice creature there with the flames on the back. A very solid design. I like him. This is where things get tough. We're gonna have to make some tough decisions here. So right off the bat, let's throw one out of the way. Chikorita, least favorite. It's weird to see two back-to-back grass types there. I swear it's not grass hate. It's just at the end of the day, it's a legged blob with a leaf on its head. And one of the only positive things, aside from its, you know, general cuteness that I can say, is just the name, Chikorita. It's fun to say, Chikorita. That's about it. So no hate out there to anybody that likes Chikorita. It's just not for me, in my own opinion. Another one that's going to be maybe controversial for many of you is Froakie. I'm going to put him in there all right. Not the best, not the worst. It's not as distinctive as maybe Politoed in terms of its froggish characteristics, but it is a pretty cool looking Pokemon. I'm not the biggest Greninja fan, but I can't take Greninja into account here. So just in terms of Froakie, kind of middle of the road. I like to see him hop around in Pokemon Unite, but I mean, you know, he's a water type frog. That's all I have to say. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw Tepig on the I like these. Tepig has got a really cute design. Who doesn't like bacon, right? You know, it's a fiery, cute piece of bacon in the grand scheme of things, but very, very cute features. A fun, feisty little Pokemon, gets all fired up, you know, just like the type, you know, fire type Pokemon, they get fired up. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw Tepig up there. A really solid, cute Pokemon from Gen 5. This is where the fun begins, yeah? Okay, so right off the bat, I'm just gonna throw in Chespin under. I'm not really a big fan. There's a reason why. Now, I will say I do really like the shiny. It's a really solid shiny, but that's all I can really say outside of its general cuteness. It's at the disadvantage of the fact that I haven't played Gen 6 too much. I played it a couple times, but there's a reason why I haven't chose Chespin as my starter, and it's because I'm just not really a big fan. I don't really resonate. And again, speaking of which, Snivy's right next to him. And again, disadvantage of not really playing Gen 5 too much, but at the same time, I look at it, it's got this smug thing going on. I don't know, but I look at it, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna pick something else. So, hey, more power to you if you're a fan of Chespin and Snivy. But again, from my opinion, my perspective, I don't really dig their designs. So, you can take that with a grain of salt if you want to. But I'll tell you what I do like, and that's gonna be Oshawott. And it would have been in there all right, but I'm gonna put it up here on I like these. And the main reason is Legends Arceus. When I did my playthrough of Legends Arceus, it gave me a second chance to get reacclimated with Oshawott and see how he goes about on a team and a different type of game outside of Gen 5, and I really enjoyed my playthrough with Oshawott. Obviously, I like what he evolves into with the whole Japanese aesthetic thing going on and the inspiration behind that, but I can't take that into account. So at face value, he's a pretty solid I like him, and that's an upgrade from what he would have been before Legends Arceus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting down to the wire, and I'll tell you what, right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna toss Quaxly, the final of the Gen 9 on this list. And I'm going to say I like him. I do like him at face value. Again, at the time of this recording, we don't know what he turns into or anything like that, but that wouldn't even matter anyway. Base form, I like the aesthetic. He's got like the whole hat or toupee thing going on. I don't know what he is, but I mean, come on now. He's a duck. I mean, what the duck? He's awesome. And got a nice color scheme as well too, the soft blue and the white. I have a feeling he'll have a really cool shiny as well too, and he's a water type, so I'll probably end up picking him in my playthrough, believe it or not, even though I have Sprigatito up top here, but that's again the water bias. But I didn't take that into account here, and I do have him under I like these, so pretty solid choice there. Another one that I really do like is going to be Torchic. I'm gonna put Torchic up top. Blaziken aside, everyone knows I like Blaziken, but at the end of the day, he's a chicken. I like to eat chicken, and apparently I like to play as chicken in Pokemon games, and he's going to knock off those check boxes there, and just ultimately my favorite fire-type Pokemon, I think, amongst all gens. Certainly Gen 3, but I just like the design, and the shiny is pretty neat too, with the inverted yellow and orange, although I can't say the same later on with Blaziken, but Torchic is really solid. I do enjoy Torchic. And then let's go ahead and throw a surprise pick. I'm going to throw Sobble here under there, all right. I love Inteleon. I think Inteleon is a great design, personally, my own opinion, but Sobble just doesn't cut it for me. Yeah, it's cute, sure. It's got the whole crying gimmick going on, which is both a pro and a con, but at the end of the day, it's just middle of the road for me. The shiny's great. I like the pink in it as well too for the shiny, but the Pokemon itself, I'm just gonna say it's my least favorite of the water type base form starters. So the more you know, if you didn't know that by now. So now here comes the fun part, the final 3. Let's take a look. Okay, so 2 things before we get down to the final countdown. But one, this is actually a reshoot because I actually changed my mind in the middle of the previous recording. And also I realized that one of my picks was being covered, so I moved the webcam down a little bit, and hopefully that'll help you all out so you can see the final list. But yeah, I changed my opinion, but what changed? Let's find out. So first and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a positive. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to put Turtwig right here, and that's where the webcam would have been covering Turtwig. But my playthrough of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl really kind of increased my opinion on Turtwig. He would have been under there all right, but I used Piplup and Shining Pearl and Turtwig and Brilliant Diamond, and I just enjoyed his moveset. Very solid design. I like the shiny as well too. And I mean, what's not to like? He's a snapping turtle, right? I mean, come on. Oh, snap. Right? So yeah, pretty solid grass type Pokemon for me that I don't mind playing as. Another one is going to be Chimchar. Now, I'll tell you what though, he's gonna be under there all right, and I don't know what it is, but apparently there's something to do with the tailed, flamed Pokemon like Charmander and Chimchar. But I don't know, they're just kind of, they don't sell it for me. Granted, like I said earlier, if I were to choose between this monkey and that one, I'm obviously going to go with Chimchar. And I do like the shiny, albeit it's a little bit more on the subtle side, but it's very solid. I don't, you know, I can't, he's just middle of the road. that's really just all there is to it. So no shade to anybody that really enjoys Chimchar out there. Really good Pokemon, but just doesn't really take the cake for me. Which leaves Fennekin, and this is actually what changed. So in the previous recording, I did have them under least favorite, but I forgot about the shiny, and the shiny is actually one of the best ones. I love the Gray Fox vibe. So I'm going to say I'm not really a fan. And the shiny is what saved Fennekin there from being on the least favorite tier. That being said, that's really all I can think of that's positive. I mean, it is a cute fox. It's got that whole aesthetic going on behind it. But at the end of the day, it's just not for me. I don't see myself ever really, you know, repicking Fennekin in the grand scheme of things. But the shiny is really top notch. And I wouldn't mind having one of these days. But there you go. That is the base form starter tier list, judged by me, That Bald Gamer, my own opinion. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below your rankings, what you think of my rankings. You know, again, be gentle. It is an opinion. It's not definitive. We're all just having a lot of fun. It's a kid's game at the end of the day. So, but if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more tier lists. All that being said, I'm That Bald Gamer. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone.